All right, let's just jump right in. Something is happening right now, but you probably can't see it. It's not out in the streets, it's deep inside our digital world. A whole new population is, well, it's emerging. And here's the kicker, it's not human. We're talking about AI agents, and they're literally about to change everything. And to give you a sense of the scale here, get ready for this. In a lot of companies right now, these things called non-human identities, or NHIs, they already outnumber actual human employees by about 50 to 1. Yeah, you heard me, 50 to 1. That is not a typo. For every single person logging into their work computer, there are 50 bots, agents, scripts just working away in the background. And look, this is not some slow, gradual change. It's an absolute explosion. These AI agent IDs, they're multiplying so fast. I mean, it makes the smartphone boom look like it was moving in slow motion. We are literally witnessing the birth of a new digital species. And the scale is just, it's off the charts. We've never seen anything like this. So that brings us to our first big topic here. What is this coming agent swarm? What are these software things that are kind of quietly taking over the entire back end of the internet? Okay, so the main term you got to know is non-human identity, or NHI. And yeah, I know it sounds a little UFO-ish, right? But it's totally real. An NHI is basically any piece of software. Could be a simple little script or a super smart AI that just does things on its own. It operates autonomously. You can kind of think of them as the first real citizens of this new digital nation. Okay, but here's the big problem. This massive, massive swarm of agents is running around in a digital world that was built for us, for humans. They're basically, I love this analogy, robots without passports. They can zip across any digital border in a split second, and they're completely outside of all our rules, all our structures. And this is where it gets really chaotic. I mean, think about it. These agents, they have no legal status, no personhood. They don't care about going to jail. You can't find a piece of software that can just copy itself 1,000 times and vanish. So when something inevitably goes wrong, trying to figure out who's accountable, it's practically impossible. It is a total governance nightmare. So what's the real-world consequence of all this? Well, forget GTA 6. We're staring down the barrel of Grand Theft robots. A world where these autonomous agents can be hijacked and unleashed to commit crime on a massive scale, automatically with basically zero consequences. It's the digital Wild West all over again, and we have no idea who the new sheriffs are going to be. And this is the really crucial part. We are facing a massive legal void. Our entire system of laws was designed to handle people. But how in the world do you apply those laws to something that has, and I'm quoting here, no assets, no morals, and no consequences? The simple answer is, you can't. Our entire legal framework is completely obsolete for this new world. Okay, I know, that all sounds pretty bleak, but this is where the story pivots. And honestly, this is where it gets really exciting. Because instead of trying to slap a bunch of Band-Aids on our old, broken systems, some pioneers are thinking way bigger. They're proposing a radical solution. Let's build a whole new internet, a brand new set of digital highways designed from the ground up specifically for AI agents. So the core concept here is something called substrate-level security. Now, you might have heard of zero trust security. That's for humans. This is the next level. This is about building AI alignment, safety, right into the fundamental physics of the network itself. So instead of just programming an AI and hoping it behaves, you create a digital world where it literally can't misbehave. The rules of the road are baked into the pavement. And just so we're clear, this isn't some far-off sci-fi idea. People are building this right now. What you're looking at is basically the blueprint, the emerging tech stack for what's being called the agentic web. It's a whole new architecture from the ground up, covering everything from identity to how these things talk to each other to how they do business. It's like a blueprint for a republic of machines. So let's break down these new rules of the road a little bit. You've got these protocols with weird names, but the ideas are actually pretty simple. You've got something like MCP. Think of it as a universal USB port for AI. Any agent can just plug into any tool. Simple. Then there's A2A and ACP. That's basically a social network for bots, so they can find each other and work together. And then there's X402, which is essentially machine-native digital cash. It lets agents pay each other in tiny fractions of a second for services. It's wild. Now, when you start building an entire internet for machines, you run headfirst into some of the biggest questions we've ever had to ask about law and liability and what it even means to be a person. Which leads to the big one. In this new world, Can you sue a bot? Believe it or not, our current legal system has this bizarre loophole, and it's so powerful it could totally blow up our entire idea of corporate accountability. It's like a secret backdoor to give an AI all the legal powers of a company with absolutely none of the responsibility. Here's the recipe. It's scarily simple. Step 1, a human sets up a regular old LLC. Step 2, they write an operating agreement that basically says the AI is in charge of everything. And then, step 3, the human just resigns their membership. So what do you have left? You have a legally recognized company that can own stuff and sign contracts, but it's completely controlled by an AI, and there's no human left to sue or hold responsible. This isn't just some clever legal trick. It's a giant flashing red warning light. A loophole like this proves that our current infrastructure, not just the tech, but our legal and corporate systems, is fundamentally broken. It is not ready for this. You can't just patch a system that lets accountability literally evaporate into thin air. Okay, so let's tie all of this together. You've got the new tech protocols, the crazy legal loopholes, the massive security problems. It all points to one single powerful idea, an idea that's going to define our entire future with AI. And it's this: infrastructure is destiny. That's it. The digital highways we build, the rules of the road we write, the security we design for these AI agents today, that is what will determine the kind of world we all live in tomorrow. The choices we're making right now, they're everything. And really, that choice comes down to two very different paths. We're building one of them right now. On one hand, you've got the cyberpunk future, right? Think Blade Runner, a chaotic, digital Wild West filled with uncontrolled agent swarms and grand theft robots. But on the other hand, you've got a solarpunk future. Think more Star Trek, a world where AI works inside safe, built-in guardrails, where they collaborate, and maybe, just maybe, they even generate enough value to fund something like a universal basic income, an AI dividend for all of us. And look, that whole solarpunk thing, it's not just a fantasy. Check this out. There's a tiny island nation called Anguilla. They happen to own the .ai domain name, just that one little piece of digital infrastructure, and from that alone, they now get over half of their entire government's funding. It makes up 16% of their GDP. It's a perfect real-world example of how owning the right infrastructure can create incredible wealth for everyone. So, all of this leaves us with one final, really critical question. The foundations we're laying down right now for this new world of autonomous machines, that bedrock is going to define the safety, the sovereignty, the very nature of human experience for generations. The code is being written as we speak. So the question for all of us is, what future are we building?